Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you're welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. As you can see, that I was away for 9 weeks for training, and I am back now. And so therefore, we are having the Parashas of this morning, and the Parashas is Parshas Mishpatim. Parshas Mishpatim talks about the ordinances that the Holy One, blessed be He, has given to Moshe to deliver to the people. Remember, as I told us every year, the core message is the 10 sayings. The core message is the 10 words that God gave, to the children of Israel. This one that God is giving them now is like what I call the ripple effect, right? When you throw a stone in the water, right? There's a ripple, right? You see the ripple. So this is the ripple effect, which is also is part of the commandment. But the summary, as I said, the summary is the 10. Remember, I said that we have 613 laws in the Torah, which is true. But if you look at it now, that is from the Gematria understanding, 613, right? That's what they told us, which is true, which is there in the Torah. So if you add 6 plus 1 plus 3 is what?
10.
It's 10. It's the 10 word. That is it.
That's the basics.
That is it. Those are the basics. 6 plus 1 plus 3 equal 10. So those are the 10 that God has given us, so the basic. So now in this basic, God now expanded, right? This is just the expansion. So that is nothing new. So don't be confused. Say, can I keep this 613? No, you can keep it. It is possible. If it is not possible, I'm telling you, the Holy One, blessed be He, will never ever give us in the first place, because God is not a wicked God. Our Father is not wicked. He knows that we can keep it. That is why He has given us. Yeshua said that God will not give you a trial that is above you. He's not a wicked person. He loves you. He loves me. He loves all of us as His children. So He knows that we can keep them. We can keep them. That is why He has given it to us in the first place. But as you know, as a human being, we are always very trickish. We think that we can outmaneuver God, like mama and daughters, or like papa and son. The son thinks that he's smart. He says, this is 21st century. I have the technology. I have iPhone, iPad, this, that, me. I can outmaneuver my papa. But you know that your papa has a gray hair. That gray hair, you can never outmaneuver it. Because his experience is here before you. He knows the planet before you. Even though with your advanced technology, he can deal with you. The same thing with your mama. So this is the idea. So our people say, what your mama or your papa sits and is looking at, if you as a son stand up, you can never see it. Why? Because you don't have experience like that of your mama and your papa. So what I'm trying to say here is this, that the 10 words which were read last week in Parshas Yisro is divided between the mitzvot of man and God, and man and man. Remember? There's the relationship between man and God, and the relationship between man and his fellow men. We and between us and our neighbor. The second half of the commandment strictly focused on the mitzvot between man and man, as I just said. And immediately following this week, Parashas Mishpatim. Mishpatim is full of mitzvot that deal with the human level. Everything you can see in Parashas Mishpatim is all about the relationship between man and his fellow. Man and man. How can we make peace? How can we deal as a kind neighbor, as a good neighbor? People say, okay, my neighbor is my brother, my sister, my family, my daughter. No, your neighbor is that man that is close to you. That man that is, maybe you and him is not even related at all. And that is one of the core in our Ethiopian understanding. That is why the core of the Pesach. God said, you shall go to your neighbor. God didn't say go to your friend. God didn't say go to your papa or your mama. God didn't say go to your brother or your sister, a blood brother or a blood sister. No, go to the man that is next to you. He might not even be related to you at all. Go to him, and if the house is too small, go to your neighbor. Together, combine together, kill the lamb and put it on your doorpost. Do you think that God is stupid? Do you understand the meaning of that? Go to your neighbor. Do you know that there is a lot of friction between neighbors? Because there's always friction like quarreling, fighting, or something like that, because we know each other very, very well. They know the time you go out, the time you come in. I know the time they go out, the time they come in. That is neighbor, right? So for you to move out of Egypt, you must be one. If you are divided, you will never make it. That's what God is saying. If you are fighting, in quarrel, in fighting, in-house fighting, you will never make it to the promised land. No way. You have to be one entity for you to make it into the promised land. And that's what God says. Go solve your issue with your neighbor. Pick your neighbor. Go to the next person, not the 2 house, not the 10 house, not the 5 house after you. No, the one that is next to you, go to him, resolve your matter, kill the lamb, and put the blood on your doorpost so that you can make it. Right? So the same thing here, the relationship is very, very important between man and man. Because if we always fight and quarrel, how can we make it? If I come and steal your land, will you be happy? No. If I come and steal your wife, will you be happy? No. If I come and steal your children, will you be happy? No. So we have, see, this thing, this Mishpatim, all this ordinances, it's not for God, right? It is for you. It is for us. It's for us to be able to live a peaceful, amicable life. There are set of mitzvos in the Torah and in our Halachos, that is in our law, set by the Shulchan Aruch of the code of Hebrew law. Beyond the letter of the law, there are those individuals who go above and beyond the letter of the law. It is curious that most of the 5 side of the law of the word that is given between man and man are the negative. You can see most of the law on the other side, the other 5. You see that on the 10 word is mainly on the negative side. He said, "Thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not." Right? So why is it that? Because God is trying to point out a message. God is trying to point out an issue for each and every one of us here. Because if me as a person, forget as a rabbi, as a person, encroach on your property, you won't like it, right? That is, I always complain like to my wife. I said, back in Africa, once you have a land, it is your land. No government come and tell you nothing. You do whatever you want to do on your land. And they come and tell us here in Canada that we are free, freedom. But in every step, you have laws. Are you free then? Where is freedom? You are free. They told you, you are free. But even though in everything that you do, that is law that is guiding me, where is the freedom? But in my land, in Africa, I do whatever I want to do on my land. They don't want to tell me, where's the property tax? No. That's my land. They're going to tell you, this is the way I'm going to design your house. No, I design my house the way I want. They're going to tell you, okay, you cannot even make a farm on your land. No, I do whatever I want to do on my land, but this is my property. It's a private, personal property. I remember just a little story. That was my old house in Anju. I have a boat. I put my boat in the front of my house. And the government came and said, "Monsieur, you have to remove the boat out of your garage." I was so upset. They had a meeting. I don't know how to speak French. So I took my daughter, Jane, follow me down to the mayor's office. So I went to the mayor's office. So they were having a meeting, blah, 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 blah. I said, I raised my hand. Hey, I'm here, I want to speak. They said, okay, monsieur, speak. I said, I don't speak French, but I'm going to speak in English, and my daughter will translate. So I said, okay, in Anju, do you know what is called a private property? All of them were looking at me like this. Where this guy come from? Where this alien come from this place? I said, do you know what is called private property? Then my daughter was translating. They're looking at me. Say, I have a boat, and I put my boat on that I purchased with my money on my own property, and you're telling me to remove it from my property. Is that Canadian law? Can you tell me? They keep their mouth shut. They're looking at me like this. I said, I'm not moving my boat, not an inch. So if you want to sue me to court, let's go to court. But this is private. I'm not putting on the government land. It's a private land. Okay? The second day, what I receive? I receive a letter from the city of Anju. You can leave your boat. Don't worry. They send me a letter saying I need to remove it, or else they are going to fine me. So you need to know your right. That is the point. If you don't know your right, people ride over you. Right? I went down there. I plead my case, and the second day I receive a letter saying, leave your boat. No problem. But if you buy another boat, you get if you buy another boat, you cannot put it down there. But this one, you can leave it down there. You see, this is the understanding. Just after we're going to speak. So the relationship between man and man. When we have a good relationship, now I'm no longer upset because I can see that I follow my what? I stand on my right and I follow my right. And they actually, when maybe I don't know, they went to the boat and said, that man was right, or the man is right. So therefore we cannot do anything because even though we go to court, he's going to win. So therefore, I'm not going to do anything. Let him leave his boat in the front of his house. So what the Torah is saying here is this. One, he said, do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, etc. I believe this is a remez, what's called a hint in Hebrew, that a person can learn from something bad just as much and at the time even more than from something that is good. We can learn from something that is very, very bad sometimes. I will tell us a story. It's an example. I want you to relate this in your mind one by one because I'm going to discuss about it downstairs. Do you know that we can learn from a thief? A man can learn from a thief. A rabbi says. He said, do you know that you can learn from a thief? And let us see how can we learn from a thief. It says here, Rabbi Simha Boni of Pesha says that we can always learn from a Sadiq, from a righteous person. It's easy and obvious how we should react when we observe a holy person, one. But yet, there are even the other lessons and future in life to derive and learn from the wicked individual, which Rabbi Boni said that we can learn from a thief. How can we learn from a thief? One, he said, a thief or a robber, known in Hebrew as Ganav, right, is not lazy. A thief is not a lazy man. Don't think a thief, this man is lazy, that's why he's stealing. Hey, no, that man is not lazy. He's not a lazy man. So let's see how the man is not lazy. This is especially true at night when he goes out to steal. While you are resting, sleeping, the man is busy doing another thing. He's not a lazy man. He stands up in the middle of the night trying to do what is dubious job. So let's see. Number two, he said, a thief never gives up. That is another lesson that we can learn. A thief never, ever give up. If he tried today, he didn't succeed, he go back there again tomorrow. He didn't succeed, he go back again there again. Or except if it is caught. If it's not caught, he will continue until he succeeds to steal that thing. So our rabbi is telling us that there's a thing that we can even learn from them. In the sense that you do know what? You do not give up. Don't say, today, I'm tired of praying, I don't want to pray again. I pray. God, I'm not receiving the answer. I fed up, I'm tired, I give up. That is it. No, you cannot give up. That was what I'm saying. Continue on that step. Continue on that path. Because we always have this idea, which I always tell us every time here. God is never late. That's number one. God is never early. That's number two. God is at the right time. At that nanosecond, at that nanosecond that you need him, boom, he's there to lift you up upon his wings. It's not too early, neither is it late. So we as a human being, I understand, which I always tell us every time, because we have time. We are human beings that have time. So, I'm getting old, I'm getting this, I'm getting that, the time is not on my side. Who give a damn if the time is on your side or not? God is saying, I am on your side. Why are you so worried about time? Don't worry about the time. At the right time, that thing that you cannot achieve for 20,000 years, in a second you get it. Because God is on your side. Forget about time. I know. When I say, I don't want people to laugh at me. My mate are like this, my mate is here, my mate is there. Don't worry. Continue on the path. Don't be lazy. Don't give up. Stand firm, and you will see the victory of the Lord. So he said, finally, he said that the thief does not get embarrassed by stealing something small. Even though he may not be able to rob a big bank, he still tries to steal something smaller. Even though the amount may only be small, the thief is still encouraged to steal. His limited ambition does not hold him back. So even though it's a small thing, because he's determined to steal it, he's going to do it. So, and this is what you can say, why is a rabbi giving this example? The same thing I was giving in the Torah in the book of Bereshit. In the book of Bereshit, it said, and God came down to look at what? To look at the Tower of Babel, right? That's what the Torah said. And God was surprised. Wow! This man that we created, wow! Whatever they put their mind upon, they can achieve. It's not about determination, that's what I'm saying. It's not about, do you determine to get to the end, or are you going to be discouraged and left by the roadside? Yeshua HaMashiach gave us understanding also, right? Are you going to be left aside? He said, many are called, but few are chosen. Are you going to be among those few that are chosen? Remember, those few are not lazy. Those few, they persist. It's all about persistence, persistency. Not looking back. Say, no matter what, I'll continue. Right? Are you going to be those lazy ones that cross their legs across the road? Say, you know what? This thing is not true. I'm done. You decide. It is your choice. Nobody decides for you. Not God. God will not decide for you. So you don't come on the day of judgment and say, oh God, you know God, you are the one that decided for me. No. It is your choice. It's all about choice. So if we decide, if you choose to follow the path until the end, then success will be yours. Success is going to be ours. But if you say, you know what, the road is rough and I don't think I can make it. Oh, you limit yourself. It is yours. It is you that limit yourself, not God. Because God has created you unlimited. So you cannot limit yourself. It is all about, our mind. There is a great determination and satisfaction the thief has about his profession. He does it with a passion. In a related manner, we can also learn a great deal from individuals who are not fully developed, yet possess tremendous strength and determination to grow and to learn. In other books by Rabbi Yaakov Halevi, he quotes in the name of another rabbi, saying that there are three things a person can learn from a child and incorporate it into his own life. Number one, a child is always happy. Always. You greet a child, the mama come again, you call, hey, mama, I love you. Right? A child never sits idle. Never. A child is always busy doing something. You cannot say, if a child sits idle, then there's a problem. That child is either sick or there's something bothering him or her. A child is always happy and busy doing something else. Number three, in general, whenever a child wants something, he cries for it. He cried out. Hey, Baba, hey. Right? The mama understands, oh, he's hungry, she's hungry, she needs something, he needs something. The same thing with us. We should take those three lessons. When we need something, you cry out. Yes, God knows that you need it, but if you don't cry out, okay, a child is hungry, he didn't cry out, okay, mama will think everything is fine, right? But when the child is hungry, what does the child do? Oh, okay, the time to feed is come, right? And the mama takes the child and breastfeed because the child is crying, yeah, or because the child is hungry. The same thing here with us. We as an individual have to cry to our Father. Don't give him peace. Don't allow him to have peace. Keep on crying. Don't stop. Persistency. I need this, I need this, I need it. Oh, this child don't leave me alone. Okay. You know what? For me to have peace, I need to give it to him or her. Okay, I give it to you. Okay. Now I can have peace. The same thing here. The spiritual thing, God has given us physical example or to understand how to implement spiritual things. So for us individually and collectively, I just want to tell us in Parshas Mishpatim, it's about your neighbor. It's about your relationship with your neighbor. It's about your relationship with your fellow man, right? Because if our relationship is not good with our fellow man, we can't have peace. But when our relationship is sound, is good, is solid, is like ironclad with our neighbor in peace, in shalom, then our neighbors can even be our bodyguard. Right? Understand? By the meaning of a bodyguard, you are going, let's say, for example, you are going to Cuba, you are going to travel, because you have a good relationship with your neighbor. Oh, neighbor, I'm going out. Check after my house. The neighbor will do that with happiness. Because I know that if I travel too, he or she is going to do the same thing. For me, it's hand, iron in hand, wash in hand. So we help one another out. So and with that, because we have this good relationship with one another, then things will become more easier. Things will become more softer for each and every one of us. Parashas Mishpatim. Shabbat Shalom.